Okay. Hi. Uh, I'm being a little slow. How's it going? I'm Rigaroga. You're you. Howdy, meeps. Uh, it's Sunday, and I got something in the mail. It's actually really kind of a weird tale, right? So this is, I mean, obviously I selected Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven will be in the title of the stream and the video and all of that, so you know. I ordered Gloomhaven back like near Christmas, and it hadn't shipped yet, and the price went down. So I canceled it, reordered it, and then it arrived like 2 days after I had ordered it the second time. So like it had been in a holding pattern for like, I mean, literally I just ordered it like on Friday, reordered it on Friday. So it had been in a holding pattern that whole time, and then all of a sudden, it shows up when I reordered it. Freaking weird. And I saved an extra like $10 or something like that. So anyhow, kind of cool. Um, so anyhow, this is really going to be kind of I suppose a little bit of ASMR because it's basically unboxing, right? And then the cats might show up because they do that. But anyhow, so let's go ahead. I'm just gonna switch over. Here's the box. I mean, it's freaking huge. Here are my hands in comparison. Like, okay, listen. I was prepared for this box to be huge. Everyone said so. Every unboxing video on the planet has said that this thing is huge. Um, and expensive, but I got it basically for like just a little over 100, so almost $40 off, because of the holiday sales and whatnot. And oh man, I've had such bad luck with trying to do role playing streams and trying to find a group that actually works, that doesn't have a member that makes it impossible for me to continue to gaming with continue gaming with the group. But yeah, anyhow, so I mean, those are my travails. But here's the thing: Gloomhaven, I can play solo with multiple characters, and I mean, it's gonna last me forever. Um, and there's not just the scenarios that are in the box, but there's three community-driven Kickstarter, or I mean, not Kickstarter, but one of them was from the Kickstarter. Three community-driven scenarios. There's a demo scenario which is really short. Then there's another scenario which you can play when you first fail any other scenario, and then throw that one in. And then there's another scenario that was created for the Secret Cabal podcast or something like that. And then later this year is going to be released the first little expansion with an extra character that's currently in playtest, and you can actually download a print and play version of that character and cards, and then you can play that character within the thing. But those scenarios then happen after the main campaign. You can play random scenarios, and then sometime there's going to be a mega expansion, that, like, I think probably is just going to be like a double of this box that's going to be available as soon as the developer finishes it. But anyhow, so this is something I treated myself to because I've been so desperate. I want to play role playing games, but I can't find a group, and it just doesn't work out when I do find a group. Well, I can't find a group that works out. And I've gotten a few role playing things in, and I do the solo ones. I've done solo plays, but man, the prep is crazy. When I was doing them just for YouTube, and so I would do them, then I would edit them down and then upload them, and it was so much work. Of course, setting this up is going to be a lot of work too. But man, look at this box. It's gigantic. Oh man. And then this is so my understanding, this is the second edition 4th printing. So it's got all these awards, and it's 1 to 4 players, 30 minutes per player. No, I don't think so. Not judging from the from the playthroughs I've seen, and then ages 14. So it should work for me. More close to reverse those numbers, but and then boy, you can't really. It's so big you can't even see it. But anyhow, here's the starting 6 characters. And let's see. Let's look at the back. So this is the back, and it gives you an idea of, there's all kinds of stuff that comes with the boards and the players and cards and all sorts of things like that. Video overview available. What a deal. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just start up. Hey, I don't have chat open. Why don't I have chat open? Hold on. Let me get, I need to pop out. There we go. Pop out chat. So at least it's on screen. And get things on my... Okay. So let's go ahead and there... Yeah, and not only, I reordered this on Friday. I was notified almost immediately that it shipped, and then it was going to arrive on Sunday, which is like incredible, because like what they said when I ordered it was that, oh, it'll arrive, around January 7th. So, I mean, it was just nuts how fast it came in. There we go. And then let's get this. And of course I got my... There we go. Come on, what the hell? There we go. There we go. There we go. Trying to be so careful with it. All right. Okay, so here we go. Oh boy. I think I need to start going to the gym or something, because like this is supposed to only be 22 pounds. And I'm like, I can't open it. Yeah, I was saying the cats might make cameos, but I'm looking at the table. This box is so huge. I don't think there's room for cats on here. Okay, so wow. Okay, so here's the rule book. Stop. If you would prefer to watch a video, it comes with a QR. And then here's your general icons. And there's a train going in the background. So I've watched a whole bunch of videos doing, I mean, I'm over a year late to this. so I'm probably not going to spend a whole lot of time on screen explaining rules and stuff like that. Here's the scenario book. So there's 95 different scenarios in here, and then there's the community driven campaigns. God, and here's the map. So yeah, so I have to figure out, like, if I'm gonna stream this. Look at it. It's like big enough to cover my entire desk space that I have set up. Yeah, and it doesn't. I can't even show that on screen. Here, let's set this aside for a second. Let's set this aside for a second. There's an edge. One of the edges right here isn't quite glued on the little designer wrap. And that's true on the top box top as well. So let's see. What if... So what if I open this up? Oh, we can almost get the whole thing on there. So it kind of hangs off the edge of my... It kind of hangs off the edge of the table. It's just slightly too big for... So if I put it so it's exactly on the edge of the table right here, at the bottom edge, then it pretty well fits on screen. Like that could be my play surface, I suppose. I've got the replaceable stickers, the ones that you can so you can replay the game. I know it's legacy, and like, some people, there's no way I'm ripping the cards up. Not as expensive as this game is, but I mean, you never know. You might try and play it again from the beginning. Although by the time I'm done, if I even manage to continue, by the time I'm done with this, there's going to be a whole nother box and more to play in addition. The global achievements are at the top, so those little flags are almost hidden. But I could almost do this. I would think I would want to have some sort of like desktop overlay over the top of this if I was going to play on top of that. So it could be done. It could be done. I don't have an organizer yet. I keep thinking I'm going to do that to get an organizer. But okay, so here's the town records. Oh, and there's a seal on that. Huh. So this must be, it's like a, huh. That's interesting that that's sealed. I haven't seen anybody on a stream mess with that. So that's an interesting little thing right there. Town records. So here's location stickers, sheet. Oh God, it was upside down, so I thought it said sheet 20. It's like, oh my God, what are you kidding me? Okay, so this is sheet 2, and this is sheet 1 for location stickers. Now I'm not going to end up using these ones because they're relatively permanent that you end up putting on the map. I'm going to be using the replaceable stickers as soon as they arrive. And here are the global achievement stickers. So these ones go at the top of the map. And there are rank stickers. Oh, there are some things that have ranks on them. So there's just it's a flag and then it upgrades. That's interesting. And then there are some that clearly they replace each other. Okay, now we've got all of these boards. With coins and damage and monsters and playing boards. all kinds of different room types. Tavern wood floors and caverns and outdoorsy stuff. Here's a bunch more maps and conditions like poisoned and wounded and invisible. And then things that get summoned. Oh, they're the same on both sides. That's interesting. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, the maps are actually different on different sides. So look, there's this one that's kind of dark and has a like little shadowy in it, and then there's like on the other side, it's a different map. That's good to know. Somehow I didn't realize that from any of the playthroughs that there were actually maps that were on the other side that were different. But that, of course, makes sense. All kinds of different shapes. Oh, and the coins are slightly different, too. So they have numbers on one side and then coin backs on the other. So all kinds of stuff. Wow. That's a lot of monsters on that one. Monsters. Monsters. Oh, what is that coin? Oh, that's, oh, it's the loot. These are the loot tokens. It's interesting that there's, I think they're all ones. But they have no back, like you would hide them somehow. For some reason. I don't know why you would do that. I mean, because there's no opportunity where they wouldn't have just ones, I guess, on them. Oh, here's some things with it. These are just white. There's actually some standees right here. What in the world? And this one actually is split in half. Oh, how weird. What the hell? There's like an invisible... I don't think you can see the seams, but there's actually standees right here that are not... Oh, you can see this side. And then this one is actually split in half. How weird. I wonder what those are. And then here's the round tracker and elemental board. What's on the back of that? Oh, it's just it's a weird little blank thing. Some weird variant. I wonder what you could do with that. More monsters. And then some of these have details. It's a little weird that some of them have chests and things like that that don't actually get used. The only chests that matter are ones that are tokens that get put on. Ooh, there's cannons. Holy crap. There's so many of these boards. Yeah, I can definitely see, and some sort of organization is going to be so incredibly required. Oh, wow, I just flipped a thing out. Someone tried to escape. Who was it? It was a insecty kind of creature thing. One of these. Just flipped out. Okay, well, we're going to end up taking all those out of there. More. Oh, do these actually? Oh, yeah. So here are some doors, and you can see that they're closed. And when you flip it over, then it's actually slightly opened. Oh, and is the sarcophagus? Yeah, the sarcophagus is closed on this side, and then open on this side. That's kind of cool. Interesting. What about the fountain? Is the fountain... Oh, the fountain is actually something different. It's lava on one side and a fountain on the other. And that's true with these things too. So some of these aren't the same thing with different states on them. And some are. They're the same thing with different states. So that's kind of interesting. And then here's... It's actually darker for me than it is apparently on the screen. I'm looking at the stream, and it actually you can see them better than I can. For some reason, I have the lights a little low, I guess. Well, I'm used to game streaming, so I actually generally am relying on the light from the thing. I don't have my hero light behind me set up right. It's actually way over there. But bunch of stuff. That's a really odd shaped one. Really cool. All sorts of... Look at all that stuff. So this is 17. This is board 17. And board 18. Oh wow, we finally got to the end of the boards. Okay, so those are the boards. And here's some more secret stuff. I know what this one is, and it's got a seal sticker on it. So this is one of the little envelopes with a thing, a secret thing in it. And then here's an X envelope with a seal, and here's a B with a seal. That one's a bigger one. Secret campaign stuff. And then party sheets. It's a pad of them, so you don't actually have to copy them off, but I'm probably gonna copy and print, maybe laminate. Oh wow, what the hell? Enhancement stickers. Oh, okay. So these ones are the ones that go on the player cards. So there's like +1s and like extra elements and things like that, and area of effect kind of stuff on these. But so these get placed on the actual player cards. I had been wondering because I hadn't seen anybody use those, but through the game there are some that have sort of little things on them where you can put an upgrade. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone who had any of these. But so this is what goes there. And I was wondering, like, are you supposed to draw on the card or something? But no, you actually use these enhancement stickers. So that's pretty cool. That's something I hadn't seen yet. Oh, and of course your secret code with almost runic. It's almost like a postcard, but it's just paper. So it's kind of a flyer, and then it's got the Gloomhaven code on it. Secret code. And oh, that's the same party sheet that I had before. Okay. Okay, and there's actually a little bit of foam in here. There's actually something in here that's not game. That's pretty amazing. So this is the extent of it, of what's not game in that entire box. Oh, of course, there's a little tray in here. So these are the upgraded trackers for health, to track health and to track experience that you gain in each of the scenarios. So this is part of the second printing or second edition with some of the little upgrades. And there's 4 of those. So technically, if you want to play more than 4 characters, I don't know if there's actually a variant that allows you to do that or is friendly to that. I wonder if you could play like 6. I wonder if that's in the rules. Nobody's ever said that. I think I've only ever seen people play 4 at a time at most. Oh, well, that's kind of weird. These got jostled around a little bit. So there's some of these. Ah, okay. So it is in the rules that you only play with those. Does the 5-player variant? What does it change? Does it just change like the monster strength? Or do you? Yeah. +2. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But it seems like, I mean, what if you played with everything you'd unlocked? You know, because it's not enough of a tracking nightmare to try and figure everything out. Okay. Oh yeah, these got all jostled all over the place. Okay. So I have no idea what order these were originally. But these would be the minis. And then 2 of them that don't fit. And foam. And all kinds of cards. Okay, so there is almost, you could almost use this as an organizer. Okay, so these are the first 6. So these are the starting 6 right here. Let's just go ahead and flip those around. We got all kinds. So we got, man, that's a lot of cards. Look at that. So these are the attack cards for the various monsters. And these are secrets. Yeah, I've been looking at them. I mean, you know, I'm a year late to this, right? So I mean, there's a ton of them. You know, there's the broken token, of course, and a couple of the other ones. I've definitely been thinking about it. I'm kind of thinking this way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start as simply as possible, like just with what I have in the box, and start playing scenarios, and then as I play them, like, to be sure if I'm actually going to be playing over time, that I'm going to start, you know, upgrading things. One of the things that's going to happen is that I'm going to probably, if I do live streaming of this, I'm going to use the Gloomhaven helper, which is a Java app, and so I'll actually have that on the screen over in the way corner. It'll like fill up part of the screen, and that'll take place of a lot of the cards and health trackers and all that sort of stuff. So there'll be like a large status on screen for people who are watching. So I'm thinking that I'm going to play with 3 characters. I'm going to try some, you know, some demos and maybe randoms scenarios just to get a feel for it and see if I can be sure that it's going to work. But I may not have to have all of the cards out on the table as I'm streaming and stuff. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, there's so I'll write that down. The other one, I mean, you could use like the Avery business card binder things in like a peachy or something like that to keep track of those and things like that. So I might do that as sort of a you know, half step to getting one of the really big organizers, but I will look into that one. Thanks for the tip on that. Because obviously, you know, There's so many people that have had this problem. Like, I'm not alone. Okay, and so these are the battle goal cards, and then these are some random map unlocks. And then these are the career goals for retirement. And the standees for elites and regulars. Battle cards. And items. Oh, these are the unlocking items, and then these are the regular shop items. More battle cards. And these are road events, and then these would be the city events. And then the characters. Okay, so let's see. We've got these. And one more. Which one is it? That one. So, Brute, Mind Thief, Craighheart. That's Spellweaver, right? And then Tinkerer, and then Scoundrel. So those are the 6 that you start with, already unlocked, and then the rest of these are not. Oh, and this one that one actually has 2. Okay, so this one, that one says 1 of 2 or 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. So that one is actually a character with 2 boxes. So that's kind of cool. Oh, hey, the only experience I have with this game at all, I should have had this closer up, is watching videos of other people play. I mean, that's literally it. I mean, other than being a sort of old school RPG player or whatever. But yeah, no, it's totally just from having watched other people play. So I'm coming at this completely fresh. Obviously really late to the game, late to the starting line, but yeah. So my plan is that I'm gonna do this unboxing video, and then I'm probably gonna play through the really short demo, and see how I feel, and if I need more, I might play some random dungeons, randomly generated ones, but then I'll start the campaign, and then at some point, as retirement and up and leveling happens, I can do solos with characters as they develop, but there's also the 3 community-driven campaigns, and then there's like a bunch of others that I kind of want to work in and stuff like that. So probably planning. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you could do at least weekly, as far as like doing like a stream with this, maybe every Saturday or something like that. Or if I get a fire in my brain, I might do more. But okay, so those are those. I feel like maybe the next thing to do is sort of do the punching, is the ASMR, a little bit of punching out all of the little things. I'm actually gonna. I don't have them. Like, I mean, I have a surreptitious copy of them. I've seen like, I've got a PDF of them, but they're on Board Game Geek for like $12 right now, and they're in stock. So I'm probably gonna order them, but I won't need them. I mean, I have to retire 2 characters and get to level 5 before I can even do them. So I'll probably order them at sometime soon, but I won't need them for a while. It'll be several weeks, but I want to make sure that I get them before they go out of stock. But they are currently available at Board Game Geek in their store for $12. and I presume that that's a legal copy that they're producing with Cephalofair's permission and all that. But yeah, so that's the goal. I don't have them, but I'm planning on getting them that way. I do have some free scenarios. I have the God, what the hell is it? It's the end of the world scenario, which is a short one where the first time your character dies, you can go into this, or I mean not dies, but the first time you lose a scenario, you can play this one, and then that's the only time you ever get to play that. So I'll be like filling that one in when it's appropriate and all that sort of stuff. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, well that's good to know. Print and play is a thing, but it'd be nice to have the actual cards. Definitely. I agree. Right, no pun included. And then there's also the one I haven't been able to figure out how to get because it was attached to a Kickstarter. Is the um, Secrets of the Lost Cabal or something like that. It's for the Secret Cabal podcast, and they did a Kickstarter, and there's a scenario set up for that one, and I haven't seen any way to get that because the Kickstarter's over. They're not accepting orders anywhere that I can see. But so that's another set of them, and then there's the three community-driven ones. So I've got the first two, and then the third one is ongoing right now with the print and play for the character class that's included in the next little box set that comes out later. So there's gonna be plenty to do. Okay, I'm gonna get some freezer bags just so I have them. Okay. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Just the main campaign, of course, everybody is fully realized that there's like a ridiculous amount of scenarios available for that. So that alone will take me forever. Um, but I could do side campaigns or additional stuff. Um, and it's super cool. You having the community driven campaigns is awesome. Super super duper extra content. And then I might also give a try with the um, Asmodees. They're the released, not the developer, but the digital version that's coming out. So I might play a few rounds of that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna heat my tea up. So that's definitely going to be a thing too, and that's going to be slightly different than it's not the actual full campaign, so that's going to be different to play as well. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do with this? How about if I put this here? I just have to be conscious of the fact that the box is larger than the space I'm putting it in. So if a cat decides to leap on it, it's gonna go flying. Um, Actually, let me show you really quickly. This is actually, um, uh, hold on one second as I go in. I'm gonna show you the what it's gonna look like um, as I play the on stream. The plan anyway. What is it? I didn't have this set up yet on screen, but this is what, as far as the idea of it is. I was gonna have this set up a little bit. So my sizing is a little bit weird because I didn't set this up ahead of time. But this is the idea. This is Gloomhaven Helper. It's a little Java app that I can run and control everything on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, as far as like having an extra status, instead of having to, I mean, I plan on having, I mean, I have this camera, I have the face camera, and then I'm planning on getting one more for just close up on cards as I'm playing them. But as far as like having a tracker for people to sort of see what's going on, that's what I'm planning on doing, is to have that as on the side. So yeah, I'll have some different views of what's going on and things like that. So anyhow, yeah, let's go ahead and let's close that. Don't know that I necessarily need to exit that in a friendly way. Yeah, and I wish that the Gloomhaven scenario viewer, the one that's available for iOS and Android, I was thinking of getting, at some point it would be nice to be able to display that stuff on screen as well. I could do that via just the PDFs and just showing the PDFs on screen, which may end up being what I'm doing. Or, the thing is, I'm being a year late. It's not like I have to really go through a tutorial for everybody who's watching the stream is like how to play. Although I'll be learning it, but yeah. So anyhow, different stuff. So been thinking about how that might work out. But so let's go ahead. So we've got, here's 18. Board 18. I should actually probably do it this way, so I'm not fighting the die cut. So Fenton, have you do you stream? You stream Gloomhaven? I've watched the Gloomhaven channel or category a little bit, just to sort of see what people are doing. And I've mostly been watching some, mostly solo playthroughs, but I've watched a couple groups play on YouTube. I suppose I could do this centered a little bit better. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I have an allergy to Facebook. So but yeah, like the Asmodee's or the developers Discord for the digital version is something that I am thinking about watching, and then of course there's oh, okay, cool. I mean, it'd be a huge commitment, right? To do the streaming. And then, I mean, if you're playing with a group, of course, the number of cameras and things you'd have to set up can be daunting. I would certainly imagine. So we got some monsters. We got some obstacles. And of course, they're going to be different on the different sides. And then, oh, these are the cover for the edge tiles for when you've got two boards connecting. And then there's a tavern table. Probably realistically, I need to decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to do, for now, I'm going to do obstacles and covers and, sort of environmental kind of things. I'm going to do monsters, and then I'm going to do tokens and shits and then maps. So that'll be my thingamabob. Oh, that's cool. That's a really cool idea. To help people go through. So you moderate the actual Facebook group? Cool. Do you have a team? Have you had to deal with a lot of spam? I have another project that I do that has a Facebook page, not a group. But a page, and I have a extensive blacklist of terms that hide posts because of just all kinds of nasty spam and just harassment. Oh wow, cool. Well, of course it's official, so. Yeah, well, you can do that on Facebook. On Reddit, you're really not supposed to run your own thing, are you? Isn't that true? I think I remember reading something about some people getting in trouble because they were running their own subreddit for their own product. It's supposed to be for fans or something. But yeah, I mean, at least you didn't try to do the official forum on Google Plus. Now that that's going away, and like everybody who's spent any energy trying to um, trying to build a community there is having to figure something new out. Oh, interesting. Oh, and yeah, there must be a ton of people that I haven't seen. I've done like managed to find a few, but obviously there's going to be a ton more. And as I pay attention to the Gloomhaven channel, then I'm actually going to get a whole bunch of more people I'll end up recognizing. But I mean, this was a big deal for me. I don't have a lot of extra money to spend, and having it just went on sale, um, and then I ordered it, and then it went on sale even cheaper. So I canceled my order, which hadn't yet shipped, and then got it cheaper and faster. So ridiculous. But yeah, so this for me, this is really an investment in um, easing my frustration with not being able to find a group of people to play with. So I'm going to end up playing this pretty much solo as I go through. I mean, unless the cats end up wanting to play, I never know. Yeah, there's been a couple that have gotten like to scenario 20 or something like that, I think. That I've seen. But yeah, they definitely peter out. Like there was one that I was watching, and it looked like, oh, they're really gonna seriously go through it like every week, and then apparently they stopped a year ago. And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. But I mean, it's still good to watch. And then at this point, I mean, everybody is every stream that I've seen, they're like, oh, okay, there's gonna be spoilers in this. It's like somebody actively choosing to watch an actual playthrough of Gloomhaven, and then like, seriously, are people complaining about spoilers when they're actively seeking out the content? It's like, The streamers aren't spoiling anything. People are spoiling themselves. Ay. Anyhow, that's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna not very sympathetic to people spoiling themselves and then blaming the streamer for spoiling stuff. Um, yeah. So the question was, am I gonna do the plus one? I honestly don't know. I'm probably gonna play the demo scenario and just sort of see like how I feel about it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure. I was thinking like based on party composition, like for example, if I were to do like one of the party compositions I was thinking about is Craighart, Brute, and Spellweaver, and my sense of that is that is such an overpowered group like OP that that it would make sense to do plus one for this because I'm doing solo. But I'm kind of thinking maybe I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like to start out really simple with kind of like fighter, spellcaster, thief. So doing like brute, spellweaver, and then scoundrel, and so I'm if I do that, I might consider doing the plus one on the thing. But I'm gonna do the demo scenario and just see how I feel, um, and maybe do a random to kind of get a sense for how that's gonna go. But yeah, so it's something I'm thinking about. Okay. Yeah. So then, yeah. So that's what I'll do. And I might, I might if it's too easy or whatnot, I might pump up the difficulty, pump up the jam. But that's sound advice. That's kind of I think that's kind of where I was leaning towards, like starting out with just the regular without pumping it up, and just sort of see, especially since I haven't actually played it. So we're on board 15 currently. Yeah. So if that's pretty sound advice. If it's gonna go straight into the deep end. I mean, I've seen people try the first scenario or the second scenario 3 times in a row. It's like, oh my god. Oh, no. What? I mean, there's a point where you're like, why did I do this to myself? But it is, I mean, it is kind of, it's not really roguelike because you don't really die necessarily. I mean, unless you play that variant. Um, so, I mean, at a certain level, it's about like, am I getting the strategy right? Because you're really not worried about dying so much. Okay, this one has 4 little doohickeys on it, so I don't want to make sure I don't accidentally bonk those off. Yeah, so if I weren't thinking about using the Gloomhaven helper, I would stick to 2 just because of the sort of the computational brain overload of having to track so many cards. Um, so I'm expecting that app is going to give me a little bit of brain overhead in order to have space for another character thinking that out. Um, and then it's also just sort of the interplay of having them. I mean, one of the things to think about is like, as the game progresses, it's going to level up starting characters. So why start with a bunch of them at the beginning? But it seems like kind of the sweet spot. If I were having to keep track of all of the cards, like manually keep track of everything, I would probably go with 2. But I'm hoping and thinking that I'll be able to get a little bit more interplay. I kind of want that. I want the old school sort of D&D feel of having fighter, magic user, thief. That kind of um, party composition feels right. You know what I mean? that's kind of what my thinking was. Is like if I'm gonna use that app and have the extra space in my brain, I might as well try it and see how they interact. And honestly, the first thing I thought about was like I don't me personally as a player in role playing games, I like to play like the weirdest edge seeking character. Like I if I could play a non humanoid creature in a game. Like if I could play a cat instead of a human, like one of my ideas eventually is to have a cat, an awakened cat who's a warlock and has a human familiar. You know, I want to do something weird that tests a kind of boundaries. And so I was going to do a thing where I was gonna play like the least human party members. So I was gonna do like the tinkerer and the Cragheart and what's the other one? What's the other one? Oh, Mind Thief, and play those like just completely wacky. But uh, started to feel like I was just gonna punish myself if I did that. Like, it's like I don't know, why are you making it so hard for yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why do you keep hitting yourself? Okay, so we got these are all the oh I actually have a bunch more room over here. Let's move this over. And then these are the map tiles. Monsters, I still haven't gotten many, but I got some damage over here. Oh, is it really? Yeah. See, recently I was playing in a Spelljammer D&D campaign, and I played a Tabaxi uh, arcane rogue, and so I was like playing all kinds of weird. The reason why I mentioned that is the Mind Thief feels a lot like that, like kind of that kind of character. Um, so yeah, so I mean, playing the just sort of the bland, basic kind of character is not what I'm super into. But I was thinking, you know what I mean, to start with, I don't know. Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, and then you get the characters that you unlock to play as well. So I mean, it's not like even if I start out with some basic three, if I get the career goal of completing Gloomhaven's scenarios in the town of Gloomhaven, I mean that person's going to retire super quick. So then I unlock a new character type and try that out. So things could get wacky pretty quick if I'm unlocking things. But yeah, I don't know a lot of the career goals, but I imagine some of them are significantly harder than others to complete. Like there's the one that's I don't think it's vengeance, but it's one where you got like demons of all the different elements. I imagine that one's hard to get. I've seen that one come up in some playthroughs. But I imagine, I mean, and then the other thing that I have to keep in mind is that I was planning on doing side campaigns with the community drivens. So I was going to start out with 3 in the main campaign, and then maybe start up like a separate campaign with different characters. So that might be another way to experiment with some wacky combinations that I might otherwise not have played. Um, wow, in 4 scenarios? Wow. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I mean there's definitely that. Like, some people you're going to end up retiring. And I imagine that the length of it is kind of dependent on what you're. So we're on board 13 now, and I'm getting some monsters now for my pile of monsters. Oh, let's do this the right way, so I'm not fighting the die cut. I imagine some of the unlocks are intentionally harder, and then the thing that you're unlocking is probably related to the difficulty of how difficult it was to unlock, as far as like how OP they are or whatnot, how complicated they are to play. I mean, it seems like Isaac is, definitely the kind of person who would put a lot of that kind of thought into it. Okay, a bunch of monsters and some cannons. Those will be fun. I don't want to meet any of those. Oh yeah, yeah. Wow, that's totally true too. Yeah, you could totally recreate the same character, the same class and species, if you are so inclined to do so. Yeah, or if if that's a character combination that you love to play, definitely. And then also adding that into the mix, as far as like, if I do the community campaigns and I'm finding like the combination is too wacky and weird, then I can actually just put somebody on ice for a little while, and have them stick around in the tavern waiting to hook up with some other people. And then roll in somebody who's a little bit more standard, like a brute or something like that. What was that? I think that was. Oh no, that wouldn't be male. I think maybe one of my cats just made some weird noises. I gotta always keep an ear out for like when the cats are making noise that sounds like something they shouldn't be doing. It's like, what's going on over there? I haven't seen you guys in a while. What are you doing? Show me what you're playing with. What are you chewing on? What are you scratching? Oh yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Unlock is, well. That's kind of one of the things I was thinking about with some of the Gloomhaven goals, like donating to the shrine and stuff like that, is to do that kind of stuff super early, as early as you can. Um, and there's actually a bunch of those that I don't really actually know what they are yet. Like I haven't looked at the rule book very clearly, and all I've seen are what people do on stream. And so, as far as those goals, that's one of the few that I know I've seen some people do. But there's a bunch of those as well. That I'll be thinking about, like what can I unlock of those. I'm kind of the character. I'm kind of the person. Well, when my little brothers were starting college, I told them to think about it. Their required classes and electives as being like a technology tree in like StarCraft or something like that, and that's kind of how I approach it. Like, I I of my peer group, I was one of the ones who had everything planned out. Like from almost day one, I figured out where it was going to go. I'm not like I'm not like anal about it, but I definitely put some thought into like, okay, so how do I maximize this? Not, I say that, but I'm not a min-maxer. I like playing wacky things. I like playing characters that are suboptimal and have some sort of narrative to them. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be like sort of feeling out. Like how can I be somewhat narrative, and so I might try to tell myself stories in between scenarios and things like that. Okay, so we're on sheet 11. Okay. Yeah, it's. I mean, the retirement mechanic is really cool. It's kind of like remort, in old muds and stuff like that, where you could you could reach a point where you kill your character in order to restart, and then you gain sort of advantages as you restart a character. And so that's definitely a really cool mechanic that that I remember from the old days. But this will be the first legacy game. I hadn't really ever heard that term before. So this will be the first board game legacy game that I've played, that I will have played. So it'll be interesting to explore that aspect of it. But definitely, like, the idea of being able to campaign on my own through an extensive story is something that I'm definitely looking forward to. Because I've been trying for, like, I mean, over a year, trying to get some sort of role-playing group going, and I've had varied experience or success at being able to do that, and currently have no ongoing campaigns available to me. So I've been like, what the heck am I going to do? How am I going to... I just sort of have to get used to it, and I have to accept that I'm going to be playing solo. It's going to happen. For whatever reason, I don't get along with people, or people don't get along with me, and I just have to get used to it. Yeah, I have thought about reputation, like how I want to do that. And when I played Star Wars Online, Knights of the Old Republic, one of the things that I did with my character, my main character that I was playing, was I actually tried to balance it exactly to 0. So for every bad choice, I would make, I would make a light side choice for every dark side choice. I don't think I'm going to do that, but yeah, the idea of doing, like, just some dastardly, nasty characters, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, because it's legacy. Oh, well, no, because there's difference between the prosperity and the parties. So, I mean, I could go through and I could have a nasty party and a good party, and I could play them, or I could decide, if it just is too hard and awful, that maybe I do a different party and different party choices. So there's no real... That's... Running 2 parties like that is something I hadn't really thought of. I had been thinking I would just go ahead and do positive choices for everybody. But the idea of running 2 separate parties is actually kind of intriguing to me. Huh. Have you played both? Have you focused on one particular... Have you fallen to the dark side? I mean, the narrative is kind of... I mean, you're supposed to be able to drop in and drop out, right? I mean, that's one of the things. Like, you can drop people out, but the story keeps going. So I don't know that it would necessarily... Well, no, because, I mean, the choices would affect it. So, like, I mean, really early on, there's a couple choices where, if I'm doing a negative aligned party, it would affect everything that's going on for everybody else. Oh man, I don't know. It's that I guess that is a hard choice to make. Okay, we're gonna want to keep this one together. So I'm gonna have the round tracker and the elemental. I'm gonna keep that as a separate thing. It's interesting because I was thinking it would be a simple choice, but it actually, now that you ask the question, I'm like, well, actually, I don't know. do something silly. I don't know. And I have the stickers, the removable stickers coming. So I could replay as completely evil, like making all the nasty, selfish choices, versus making all happy-go-lucky choices. And I could do it both ways. But it's not just. It seems like it's not just reputation. Like, I mean, the character you first meet in the tavern, like pretty early on, you make some choices based on whether you're going to support what she's doing or not, and it's pretty clear that that has an effect on the global game. So it's not simply just a matter of like your own reputation as a party, but you're actually affecting the world. And so, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna make Gloomhaven happy and prosperous and make those kind of choices, or are you gonna try and I don't know now I'm confused. Okay, so we're on board 8. Now we're getting into actual. Well, I was gonna say we're getting into character standees, but that's not true. It seemed to me like there was in the Kickstarter, one of the things you got a sheet of the characters that were painted standees, and it doesn't look like I got that in this, so that must have been a Kickstarter only thing. Did you get into on the Kickstarter? Were you in it from the beginning? Oh, and now we're down to these secret, like, invisible ones. That I don't know what to do with those. Those are interesting. Secret little characters. I don't know. But it's not like they, split in half and there's something secret inside, right? I mean, so what is that? It's like characters that would have been there, maybe? Or were these secret characters in the Kickstarter? Monsters that were only in the Kickstarter? Maybe? I want to know. Plus, one of them is like it's split in half, so it's not like you draw your own. Okay. But yeah, as I've thought about it, I've sort of thought like I would go through and slowly but surely kind of bling out my gameplay as I, if I continue the commitment to it as sort of a self reward. Is I'm not going to be. There's no way I can bling it out to be at the beginning, bling it out fully. But definitely thinking about like adding some 3D printed stuff instead of the tiles, and what that might look like as I stream. Okay, I might start putting some of these into bags just to have a little bit more room to do this. I think that's the only board that has secret like unprinted character or standee things on it. I'm really curious what those were. Yeah. Oh, hey Fenton, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. That's really awesome. I'm sorry I didn't see that when it happened. Yeah, so my plan, I think, is to do this weekly, or somewhat weekly. I stream at random times, so I don't know exactly, but I might set like a day to do this. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start, especially these terrain pieces. At least to get this a little bit under control. Did I see? Oh, there's a monster standee hiding in there. Oh, and a damaged standee or token. Sneaky little devils. Sneaky little devils. Bum, 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 looking at the top of my head as I'm focused on the tabletop. That's another thing that would be really interesting as this goes through, like how much time am I spending actually figuring out what moves to make versus actually playing. Probably not gonna find a spot for those. Not yet, anyway. But let's put those right here. Okay. Do our little bit of ASMR. Look at that. That is definitely, that's not nothing. That is not nothing. Okay, and then I suppose I'll do, let's make sure I don't lose the round tracker. Let's get that in its own little thing. I might actually put the spinners in there. for right now. Let's move those in there. And actually, did I not grab enough? And tokens. Okay. And I let my tea get cold again. God darn it. As I almost spill it all over everything. It's important to have a teacup that's as big as your head. Hello, tea. You are so pretty to me. Okay. So this is board 6. Oh, and now we're getting into summons and coins and oh my. One last Moonstar. Moonstar. And the maps. Big hexagonal map. Woohoo! And tokens. I should keep the summons separate from other regular tokens, I think. I'm thinking because those are associated with specific. Well, I'll put them together for now. I can separate them out later. He says with confidence. Yeah, okay. Sure you can. Okay, and board 5. There we go. And another hexagonal and a big square. Dark and light. Make a little kitty house with the sprue sheets. Okay, we're on 5. Woo! Getting into conditions now, too. No, I think I made the decision I was going to keep those together until I separated them out later. So that's fine. Oop, that one's not wanting to come out. One of the things I contemplated is what if the Gloomhaven helper app crashes while I'm playing? How do I want to deal with that? So would I end up being someone who tracks it both manually and visually? I mean, via the app? I don't know. That's a big map area. Seems like, for some reason, I guess I didn't really contemplate that the maps would actually have the two sides. So I was imagining, like, if you're gonna do kitty cat jumping on stuff, if you were to do like cast, the dental cement castings, would you make this and then paint the two sides differently? But you wouldn't, because if you had the bases, like if you had magnets on the bases, or did it like a rubber, so would you actually have to cast twice as many as there are in the game in order to make that work? That would, oh man, that'd be crazy. That's crazy talk. Okay, we're on 3. So close, so close. There we go. Okay, I feel like we got a lot of those, so maybe we should well, I mean, there's only 2 more. There's only 2 more. Let's go ahead. We'll finish this, and then we'll box them. And then we'll box them up. Okay, let's make sure we get these tokens over here. Not have them fly off the edge of the table. Why does it feel like this one is struggling to come off right? Okay. Okay. Well, that's the last. So here's all the sprues. Can we shuffle these? Oh, they don't really shuffle. Be careful not to end up with those on the floor. Because there's definitely a danger of having cats leap on these things and having them fly all across the room. And then everything goes into slow motion. Oh no! Don't leap on that! As things go flying all over the place. What I didn't see yet is I didn't see the elemental. I think they're supposed to be the wood elemental tiles. So those are still somewhere in that box that I didn't notice them. Okay, so there's all the tokens. That's all of the tokens. And that one is fine. And then here's monsters. No, that's not. That's environmental stuff. So this is all the environmental stuff. Obstacles and furnitures and various things. Here's monsters. Okay, so let's put the monsters away. And there's all the monsters. Look at that. Good grief. Good grief, that's a lot of death. That's a lot of death though. Yes. Yeah, just finished punching the things. So the next thing is to pull out the cards and take a look at those. Okay, and then here are all of the tiles. And then all the ones that I already had out. Oh, hey. Oh, look at what was hiding in there. What in the... What? You sneaky little... You... You little... You little so-and-so. So there's definitely some recurring shapes that just have different textures on them. So there's 2 T's. Oh man, another environmental one. So there's 3 T's. So far there's 3 T's and 3 of these. Oh, no, there's more of those. And then there's some wacky shapes. So there's small boxes. Big angles. More big angles. Little triangles. Hexagons. Yeah, so there's definitely a few pretty recurring shapes, but lots of variety as far as like environments go. And let's get these into the environmental. A bag of environmental stuff. Go ahead and put these over here. And then again, here's the spruce. Now I have some space. Okay, we're gonna try this. I don't think I can. I don't know how to... Okay, well shuffled. Oh, now they won't go together. Oh man, I need to sleeve these so that I don't ruin the edges. I was wondering, I wonder if I could make like if I tape these together, if I tape the corners together, I could make like a little cat maze out of them. I might actually do that. Yeah, I have to admit I've made a little wish list with with all of the terrain things, and I've looked at the Hearst dental submit molds, and I'm like, wow, I don't know, man. That's gonna be crazy if I actually get that far into it. But okay, so there is a little bit of dust from the cardboard. Okay, you know, I'm having second thoughts about. Oh, here's the elements. These are the wooden elemental ones that I was saying I hadn't seen yet. So those definitely exist. I'm really feeling like I'm wondering if I should open these cards right now. I mean, I do need to get them sorted and all that, but I don't really have a good storage for them quite yet. So these are the envelopes for the monsters that you slide these cards into. Huh. Yeah, it seems wacky. Oh, there's a... Oh. That's a player reference. Which cards are those? Not sure. I mean, at the very least, I can play around with these characters. And I'm kind of feeling like these are all the locked ones. Oh, there's a hidden thing here. What is this? Oh, there's a thing hiding here. Oh, this is that one. This is the open this envelope when you feel you deserve it. With a seal. Ha ha! Which are great for the... Oh, these ones? These are the random generation tool. Okay, that's cool. And that was an unlock that was part of the Kickstarter, yeah. Okay. And I'm assuming there's nothing underneath this tray. Like, if I lifted out this tray, is there something underneath that? Now, the other struggle I'm going to have is that... Ah, okay, right. Is painting models. I'm just so not into painting models. You took everything out and there's, what is this? Okay, so here I've opened up, this is the Brute character model. So I suppose you could, what, put a penny under there? Or a little washer? It's still a little blurry, but there is a lot of detail on that. Is that better? Yeah. So those are the minis. Oh my God, how did he fit in there? What the hell? How did he fit in there? His sword and shield are like really pushing the edges of the envelope. But so there's the 3 or 6 boxes for the main characters. Let's see, which one? We should open one of these. Should open one of these. Let's do the Mind Thief. So this is the Mind Thief. Of course, you've already seen this, Fenton. Don't know why I'm showing you the Mind Thief. It's your favorite character. Look at how short he is. He's tiny. He's barely even in the box. There's barely anything in the box. Look at that. Look at that compared to the box. What? There could be 2 of them in there. Little dagger. And he's got, I can barely see it, but it's actually, he's got, he looks like he's doing the, doing the 2 fingers over the eye thing. What a silly guy. What a silly guy. Oh, hi, kitten. Hi. Come on. Come on. Hi. This is BB. Hi, BB. Thank you for walking on not walk. Oh no, oh, B. B is drinking my tea, which is really okay because it was cold. Oh, B. Ugh. This is why we can't have nice things. Yeah, okay, you make really obnoxious drinking noises over there. How about that? Yeah, you do that. You do that. Okay, so I just opened up this, and we'll go ahead and cards and trackers and combat deck, character card with a reverse, and then a pad of character sheets. How many are there? There's actually a ton. You know, because I was thinking I'd probably have to print these out and maybe laminate them or whatever, so I don't use them all up. But there's actually quite a few. I mean, you would have to play for a long time to use all of those. $45, $95, $150, $210. So, you know, the experience to levels is seems to be about similar to what some of the others are. And that's the entire combat deck right there. I mean, ability deck. Modifiers. Okay. Wow, that's actually really thick. And it only gains 1 hit point per level. Wow. That is actually really hard to read. I mean, for my eyes, which are, you know, going bad. 5 brute minis? Wow. Well, we'll see. I mean, you know, as I unlock and open them, it'll be like, you know, 12 months down the road. I'm like, wait a minute, why is this brute in this one? It's supposed to be a squid head. Why is there a brute in my squid head? 2 great tastes that taste great together. Okay, so Mind Thief. God, wow, I'm literally, I cannot read that. I need extra light in order to read that. Vermling Mind Thief. Vermlings are a scavenging, animalistic race. They feed off the flesh of the dead. Ooh. And when they can't find any of that, they are more than happy to do the killing themselves with crude knives and arrows. They are primitive and weak-willed, easily controlled by more powerful races, with the right combination of pandering and intimidation. Left to their own devices, vermlings typically form hunting packs and spend their short lives fulfilling basic needs. Some vermlings do make their way into human society, but they are universally shunned and feared in such settings, forced to live on dark alleys and feed off scraps. Often, city-dwelling vermlings will flee to the sewers to escape harassment. There, without their pack to connect with, the vermlings will form strong bands. Bands? Strong bonds, I would write. Anyhow, forming strong bands with the massive rat population. Communication with such a large number of creatures can strain one's mind, though. When most vermlings fail, they rise to the challenge and hone powerful psychic abilities to control the swarms. So-called mind thieves make terrifying opponents, through the use of psychic assaults, sharp blades, and swarms of tiny teeth. And then there's a symbol down here, and then there's actually a dash and a 47 on the card. Not sure what the dash and the 47 is yet. Well, the Mind Thief sure does sound kind of cool, though. I'm just saying. That does sound pretty nifty. Oh, my stomach is rumbling. My stomach is rumbling at the thought of the Mind Thief. Okay, so let's take a look. Got all kinds of, so there's all kinds of ability cards. And a bunch of these are going to be ones that are available to the beginning. So there's X cards, and then these are extra level cards. So those are the X cards, and then there's level cards all the way up. So those are abilities I won't know about yet. And these are X cards. And the main abilities, so there's Submissive Affliction. Into the Night, Loot and Invisibles, Fearsome Blade, Feedback Loop, Gnawing Horde, The Mind's Weakness, Parasitic Influence, Scurvy. What? This is like, I mean, scurvy, okay. There's no illness. I would expect scurvy to have an illness. I'm just saying. You in a city and road event for the left number when you start a character, and add the city and road event to the right number when you retire a character. Ah. Okay, got it. Helps if I actually read the rules. But that's interesting. So that's pretty cool that there's... Oh, God, scurry. I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, scurry. That makes more sense, because it's move and loot. Yeah, there's... I remember watching a particular set of YouTube videos, and somebody was mispronouncing one of the battle cards consistently. I'm like, stop it. And then, of course, I do it. I do the same thing. So, scurry, yeah. Although scurvy would be kind of a cool little, suddenly sap all the vitamin C out of their body. And then Withering Claw, Possession, and Frigid Apparition for the X cards. Okay. Oh, no. Do not stick. Yeah, so I actually have not played a game that I've sleeved anything for, and I'm actually really tempted to sleeve these. Is the oh, of course I buried the rules. I was gonna try and decide if the character descriptions were in the actual rule book. Okay. So I wonder how much more I'm going to do unboxing-wise. If I'm not going to open those cards yet. Because there's going to be... I'm going to have to sort the cards into their little components and things like that. So I'm wondering how many of those I'm going to actually do. I might just go ahead and read through the characters. So that's the Mind Thief. Let's see, Craighart. So here's Craighart. Come on, open. Open. Sort of a thing from Fantastic Four. But anyhow, so there's the Craighart. Roar, roar. One thing I do know from some of the playthroughs is that the Craighart does damage to its party as well as being sort of a tanky kind of characters. And then elemental, I imagine there's elemental stuff that's involved in this guy too. Okay, so Savas Craighart. Man, that's hard to read. The Savas value power above all else. The severe and exclusionary race has rocky, uneven skin except for their chests, which appear as smooth, transparent glass. Beneath the surface of the glass is the manifestation of their power. Energy cores fashioned from the elements they have mastered: ice, fire, air, and earth. Before the Savas masters at least one of these elements and obtains its power as their own, they are considered to be nothing. Thus, from an early age, Savas children study feverishly to gain mastery over a single element, typically spending 20 years of devoted effort to do so. Some Savas have been known to live among other races, using their elemental mastery in one form or another, but this is largely frowned upon by the majority of Savas as a base and primitive way to live. There are many Savas, however, who never attained their mastery of an element and are exiled from the society, having no chance but to live among the other races in solitude. Before a Craighart is exiled, however, they earn their name by having their chest cavity maimed and shattered forever, reminding them of their inadequacy. But Craigharts are not without their strengths. Even with no control or mastery, they still have an affinity for their native earth and can display great feats of strength with their rocky stature. It's interesting because the description kind of combines the Savas and Craighart part. Instead of treating them as separate. So a hand of 11, play 2 cards, and some pretty... So 2 HP per level. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for how tiny the writing on some of these is. I need to get new glasses. My prescription is out of date. So let's see. Here's the basic abilities. And here are the X abilities. And then a bunch of other ones that will unlock over time. It's got opposing strike, crushing grasp, avalanche, two area of effects, and then this one is a persistent healing attack. Ranga, what are you doing? Another persistent, destroying obstacles. Oh, I started reading them and then I stopped reading them. Avalanche, rumbling advance, massive boulder, backup ammunition, rock tunnel, unstable upheaval. Ooh, that one's complicated. Crater, dirt tornado, and an earthen cloud. So that has a range of 2, and then is also an area of effect. That one's pretty. Does a little bit of damage, but then muddles. And then earthen cloud, which can immobilize. And that one actually is experience, but you don't get rid of it. That's pretty cool. And then heaving swing, forceful storm, another ranged area of effect. With an extra. Oh, and it also disarms? Huh, interesting. Oh, and here, I don't know if you can see. So here's one of the cards. And then up here, just in the corner, there's 2 little light dots right there. That's where you would put the upgrades for the cards, which is something that, like I was saying when I pulled this sheet out, I knew that was a thing, but I had never seen anyone actually do it. And here's one that upgrades. So you can see there's an upgrade right here for this thing, but there's also an upgrade over here which changes the area of effect. That's pretty cool. So you can actually upgrade the attack and how many people are affected by it. That's wacky. Okay, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Get out of there. BB, did you give up? Oh, you B is sitting down in the sprues, sort of. So maybe I really should make him. BB, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. You came over to say hi, and I was busy, and I didn't. What are you doing? Come on. She's all like, no, I don't know. I'm not so sure I want to. Okay, so that was the Craig heart. Hi, B. Hi. Hi, little girl. How you doing? Did you get some of my tea and now you're like, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with you. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. There, see? There's a camera. Say hi. Say hi. Bees a bee. Bees a bee. Do you want to sit in my lap? Do you want to sit in my lap? Little girl? Hmm? Yeah. Oh, sweet kitty. Oh, no, you don't want to? You want to get in the way. You want to sniff. What are those? What's that stuff? What's that stuff? What is that stuff, Daddy? What's that stuff? Don't show the butt to the camera. The camera doesn't need to see your butt. Doesn't need to see your butt. Butt. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Silly girl. Okay, let's see. Okay, so scoundrel. So another sort of daggery creature character. Hi. You gonna help me? You gonna help me unbox? You wanna grab an edge? You wanna grab an edge? You wanna grab an edge of the box? Okay. Hi. Oh, hi. Thanks for saying howdy. What you doing? What you doing? You're getting in the way. You're totally in the way. You are so totally in the way. Come on. Move your butt. Okay. Okay, so there's all the pieces. $45.95. So that leveling seems reasonable. And this pretty much the same. Kind of uneven hit points. It's like skips every other. So you get 1 hit point, and then you get 1 hit point, and then you get 2. And then you get 1, then you get, or no, then you get 2, then you get 2, then you get 1, then you get 1, then you get 2. Yeah, okay, so that leveling is a little wacky. Okay. So human scoundrel. Humans are by far the most dominant of the races, spreading across the continent like locusts, erecting extravagant cities and disturbing slumbering forces they can never hope to understand. The human society is one of rules and regulations, but also one of great diversity. Due to their intense curiosity, the relentless nature, humans can find themselves walking almost any path imaginable, from the obscenely wealthy noble to the unappreciated tavern cook, from the blacksmith forging rugged weaponry to the corrupted pursuant of dark magics. It is natural, then, that while many humans work to build up complex and constricting bureaucratic societies, there are others who reject such societies and even work to tear them down. Scoundrels are among this second type. Wholly unscrupulous and self-serving, scoundrels operate under the assumption that everything in the world is theirs to take, and they will do whatever is necessary to do the taking. Such an attitude manifests itself in combat through a vicious opportunism unseen in any other culture. Okay. 2 cards, 9 in hand. Okay. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Okay, let's take a look at these cards. Cards. Okay, here's the ones. And here's the X's. Swift bow. So single out, an attack, and then a persistent. Flanking strike. Smoke bomb. Backstab. Thieves' knack. That's weird. I paused on that because it seemed like I remember a playthrough that Thieves' Knack did something else other than that. But I must be thinking something. Anyhow, Venom Shiv, Throwing Knives, Quick Hands, Special Mixture. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of loots in there. And then here's the X cards: Sinister Opportunity, Trickster's Reversal, and Swift Bow. And Swift Bow is the one where you move and you loot every hex you enter with this action, which is pretty cool. Oh, are there? Oh, so maybe that was what I was thinking. Gotcha. Yeah, because the one I was thinking about, I think, was the Kickstarter print. because they had the character sheets that had the little plastic doohickeys that went inside them instead of the spinners. So yeah, maybe that was what it was. Oh yeah, it was move 4. Instead of move 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I remember that too. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. I mean, you can put like what is it, the boots on or whatever. I mean, there's a couple ways you can move more. So you can upgrade it, but starting 4 is that's a lot. That's a lot of movement plus looting. That does seem a little OP. I mean, especially for a card that you can get right at the beginning, you know? I mean, I can see. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, and you can get up to 4, you know, with the boots still, so you can get back to it. But yeah, 4 plus 2 for that whole movement, and then it's a card that you can get at the very beginning instead of being like a really high level. I can imagine that being like, you know, a pretty high level character card, but to start out with, that's nuts. That's nuts. Okay. I mean, I say that, having not played it, but I can imagine being at the table going, "What the hell?" But there should be like, I mean, there should definitely be, and there should be powers where the rest of the table's like, "Oh my god, that's crazy." Okay, let's see. So this should be Spellweaver, I think. Why am I? You have to be smarter than the box, apparently. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and I mean that's like Hawkeye and Quicksilver. I just rewatched a Ultron, and it's like, yeah, okay, you're fast. Okay, so there's the Spellweaver. Hi, kitty. I should actually. Okay. 45, 95, 150. That's weird. I haven't seen one that levels a lot differently than the rest. As far as the experience, I mean, the extra checks have always been 3, and I think all of them so far have been 0, 45, 95, 150. Okay, so Spellweaver, hand of 8, and starts at 6 and gets 1 HP per level. Orchid Spellweaver. The Orchids are an ancient meditative race from somewhere across the misty sea. They view the happenings of the world through a detached perspective that their 1,000-year lifespans. Whoa, what? Their 1,000-year lifetimes allow. For the Orchids, life is about spending the proper amount of time on thought and reflection, so that the right action can be made at the right time without hesitation. Orchid have been known to get lost in thought for years, And during this meditation, crystals will begin to slowly grow on their skin. Since orchids have little need for physical comforts and draw their sustenance from the earth, they serve little purpose in normal society. Many believe that the increased presence of orchids in Gloomhaven in recent years is evidence of an approaching catastrophe. Through deep meditation, some orchids arrive at the conclusion that proper action requires not only thought and discussion, but also force. There are many physical threats to the orchid society, and some are called to join the ancient order of spellweavers. Orchid sages who are able to draw forth powerful natural forces and craft them into concentrated attacks. Some spellweavers choose to remain with their society to act as guards against outside threats, but others choose to travel the world, destroying these threats whenever they find them. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I misunderstood in some of the playthroughs that I was watching. Some people were saying that some characters level significantly different. But I guess that would imagine I would imagine that would have to do a lot more with like your choices, like as far as your cards, um, when you play them and stuff like that. Okay, so that's the spell weaver. Oh, and I didn't actually look at the cards for spell weaver. Okay, so here's the ones and X's. And then ones that get unlocked. Okay, so fire orbs, ranged attack, impaling eruption, ranged attack with an element, reviving ether. That's the one that you gotta. You can't not do that one. Recover all your lost cards. Freezing Nova, attack and heal. Mana Bolt, attack and heal. Frost Armor, so that's a persistent one that takes some damage. Flame Strike, attack and attack. Ride the Wind, loot and move. Ooh, it's a loot in the top portion. And Crackling Air, 4 attack. So you add persistent that adds to your attack. Hardened Spikes gives you retaliate. And then Aid from the Aether. Heal and summon the Mystic Ally. Man, oh man, those are all cool. I think that one would be hard to pick. Like, because all of those X cards look freaking awesome. Come on, you. There we go. Okay, and then Tinkerer. 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 Tinkerer, not a thinkerer. Okay, this one's another really tiny one. Little tiny character. Little tiny, 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 tiny. Free 3 attack. Yeah, and I think the Vermling, the rats move slower. I didn't really look at the Mystic Ally, how slow that one moves. But so, yeah, you pick it out. Well, because they'll walk into traps and stuff too, right? Just like monsters will. Oh wow, I've got this one flipped wrong. I had one of the ones that unlocks flipped the wrong way. So I almost, but I didn't have the character out for it, so that would have been bad. Move 2, range 2. Oh, that's yeah. That's not so bad. Okay, so here's Tinkerer. Tinkerer. So here's the Tinkerer card. A construct, a mechanical construct. Hand of 12. And uneven. So gain 1, gain 1, gain 2, gain 1, gain... Or gain 2, gain 2... No. Gain 1, gain 2... No. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I can't count. Gain 1, gain 1, gain 2, gain 1, gain 2, gain 1, gain 2. Yeah, so it's kind of wacky. Wacky. But 12 cards in hand. Wow. Okay, actually, I didn't read the thing. Cotterell Tinkerer. Because of their diminutive size, the Quattrel feel they have a lot to prove. From an early age, they are encouraged to study as much as possible about many different subjects. Though there are expert Quattrels in any field, they seem to have a particular affinity to engineering and machinery. Their long, delicate fingers allow them to build all manner of intricate contraptions to make life easier and augment their inferior physical strength. Though they are not numerous, Quattrels can easily integrate themselves into any society due to their expertise in critical fields and their charming, graceful demeanor. Only a fool would shun a Quattrel's offer to help. The Tinkerer is a fairly common class of Quattrel to be found in a large city. They are experts in crafting all manner of gadgets and elixirs, and typically make a living selling them to those wishing to indulge in the convenience these creations offer. There are more adventurous Tinkerers, however, who travel beyond a city's walls, using all the tools at their disposal to brave the wilds in attempts to uncover ancient curiosities that may give insight into their research. So there should be a lot of cards in here, because there's a 12 hand is an awful lot of cards. XXX. Okay, there's the 3X cards. Proximity Mine. Harmless Contraption is a summon. Oh, and it doesn't actually attack. It just is a decoy. Okay, interesting. So that's persistent. Flamethrower and shield. Hook Gun allows looting. Ink Bomb, area of effect. Net Shooter, area of effect. Stun Shot. Reinvigorating Elixir. So that's heal on top and a way to make allies recover cards. That's kind of cool. Restorative Mist. Heal and move and heal. Ooh, affect all adjacent allies. It's only one though, but that's cool. It's not a throwaway card. Energizing Tonic. Enhancement Field. Toxic Bolt. I think that was the only one that... Oh, no, there was an environmental effect. So 1, 2... There were only a couple environmental effects on these ones. And the X cards, Reviving Shock, Attack and Heal. Volatile Concoction. Create damage, poison damage trap. Ooh. And Potent Potables. Oh, that increases. It's a persistent that increases healing effect. Okay, that's interesting. Oops, I put those on the wrong side. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing I wasn't really paying attention to, like the number of cards that you have to get rid of. I mean, you can always just do attack 2, move 2, but still. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really tempted. Mind Thief and a Tinkerer and I don't know, something wacky. I don't know. Okay, and then this is the Brute. Which I already pulled him out and looked at him a little bit. But so that's the Brute. Okay, so Brute, hand of 10, gains 2 hit points each level, starts at 10. Brute, the Inox Brute. The Inox are a... Oh, kitty. Kitty. Marmar. You okay? Oh, you got a little hairball? You got some hairball? Oh. Come on, cough it up. I'm recording. Come on, cough it up. Cough it up. She's just gonna keep making that noise. Oh my god. The Inox are a primitive and barbaric race, preferring to live in small nomadic tribes scattered across the wilderness. There, they subsist through hunting and gathering, scraping together a meager existence while fighting off the more dangerous creatures of the wilds. What they lack in intelligence and sophistication, they make up for with their superior strength and size, always eager to prove themselves in a challenge. And one should certainly take care in challenging the Inox. Their society does not pay much heed to ethics or morality. For the Inox, it is all about survival, kill or be killed. There is a class of Inox, however, who have abandoned their nomadic ways to embrace life in human cities, employing their great size and strength to earn a more comfortable living. Disparagingly called brutes by those who employ them, the Inox perform many tasks of menial labor, from construction to loading and unloading ships. Less savory types have also been known to hire brutes as extra muscle. Ideology matters little to the brute when given a chance to show his strength and get paid to do it. So that's interesting, actually. As I'm reading that, I called him a fighter, not a tank. Oh yeah, well, that's old school. I sometimes revert. I mean, I think tanking and DPS and stuff from MMOs, but role playing, I think fighters, magic users, and that sort of stuff. So the thing about the brute for me is that it's clearly in the description that this character is like possibly ethically challenged. So an Inox brute and the scavenger both seem like really ethically challenged. Like, so if I were going to make a party of 3 ethically challenged people, it's almost set up that one of them would be a brute, one of them would be a scoundrel, and then I don't know what the other one would be. Yeah, I mean, even if you were gonna, plan to exhaust this character, like if I have 3 characters, I mean, you could plan in the first couple rooms to exhaust your brute, and take all of the damage, but I don't know. Um, but they get a lot of pushes and pulls, I think. Okay, so those are the unlocked ones, but we've got trample with it has pierce, move and jump, and attack multiples. Wow, that's crazy. And retaliate and heal. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a eye for an eye. Sweeping bow is an area of attack with move and push on the bottom. Provoking roar is an attack with a disarm. And then there's a enemy who targets one of your adjacent allies with an attack this round targets you with that. And oh, so this is like sentinel. Overwhelming assault, attack 6, move 3 and push 2. Grab and go, loot and move. Warding strength is a persistent with gaining 1 shield. Shield bash, attack and stun and shield. Extra shield for the self. That's kind of cool. Okay, so, and then that's persistent to the end of the round. Leaping cleave, attack 3, area of effect, and move with jump. And spare dagger, attack range 3, attack 2. I think that was one of the few that had range. And there's only 1 or 2 that had any environmental. So there was a leaf and then there was a wind, and I think that was it. Okay, so what do we got with the X things? Her? Brood is a her? Oh, I'm sorry. The scoundrel's the her. Okay, yeah. I gotcha. It's like, I mean, you never know. I would hate to misgender. So let's see. The X cards are skewer, which is that I've seen that one used a lot. As far as skewer with a move 6. Oh, and balanced measure is the move and attack. That's a cool one. Yeah. And Wall of Doom, retaliate shield. Okay. Huh. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I sorry. Yeah, I missed. I caught up. I was behind. I was behind you, but I caught up. Okay, so that's the 6 starting characters. I'm feeling like it would be a mistake to open up all of the rest of the cards right now. But those are the starting characters. And let's get this back in here. Oh, and I guess I wouldn't have screwed that up, because of course these ones have seals on them, so I would have noticed that. I wouldn't have broken the seal when I had that one out of order. Let's see. Is there anything I want to get out? I mean, road and city events are, and things like that are ones that are going to get revealed as I go, so I don't really want to look at those ahead of time. I got the monster cards, which I'll find out about and get shocked at how easily I'm going to get one-shotted. Yeah, I'm feeling like a bunch of the other stuff is stuff that I want to sort of figure out as I go instead of opening them up. Oops, I forgot one. Okay, hold on. Let's get this guy. He really wants to go in upside down, which is kind of funny. There we go. Okay, so... let's see. I don't think there's any way I'm probably going to fit all of these things back in. But we'll go ahead and put a bunch of these. And then I don't really need to put the foam in again, but I do have all of these flat pieces. Party sheets and upgrades and envelopes. And then the board and the sheets. Well, I feel like that shouldn't be there. I feel like that should be there. And then this other one that I haven't... This is another one that I opened really early on, and I haven't seen anybody use that yet. The town records. So that'll be interesting to figure out. And I don't really need the scenarios book yet. So I'm going to keep the rules book out for me. And I think the plan... I think my plan for the next thing is I'm going to... I'm going to read the rules, and then I'm going to plan on maybe next weekend, or maybe earlier. I don't know. I'll do a playthrough. I'll do the demo, and then just to sort of tease it out for myself, make some choices about character, some character choices, and then start playing. So yeah, so Fenton, thanks for the subscribe or the follow, and you'll get notifications when I go live. I'm not sure what my schedule for playing this will be yet, but at the very least, I'll always have them posted to YouTube later. So even if I come up with some weird schedule, you'll still be able to hang out. And yeah, it'd be awesome to have you drop in. I'm gonna obviously, like everyone, make a whole bunch of rules mistakes and things like that, so we'll see how it goes, and then we'll also see, like, how crazy the time that it takes to make a decision. That's going to be fun for streaming purposes. That's going to be kind of crazy, I suspect. But we'll go with it. So thanks for hanging out, and that is going to be a stream of unboxing Gloomhaven as all of the air escapes from it. Oh, let's get... Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay, we get the title in there. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone, and Fenton, thanks for hanging out and chatting with me and talking about stuff. And we'll see how we go. Talk to you later.